Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, knock, knock, knock. And let's see, what do the tea leaves have to say tonight? All right. Well, we have looks like we have quite a few little scenes happening. And it does look. It looks like some of this is kind of it looks rather unbalanced, but I think that there's really one main kind of event happening. Okay, so let's kind of look at let's look at this one because this one's interesting to me. It looks like a person kind of kneeling. Almost looks like it could be an angel, right? With a wing coming down and holding above its head. It looks like it has a hold of maybe a lion. It could be maybe not a dragon, but some kind of medieval creature. So probably like a lion or a dragon. These are the two that come to mind that are kind of in this motif of the archangels or angels or kind of divinely touched people, humans, interacting with these kinds of animals, at least in a physical kind of entangled fight. So it looks like there's some kind of attempt to overpower, I would say emotions, right? Emotions, or maybe something like thought, overwhelming thoughts that are really kind of stealing the focus of other things that are going on in your life. Maybe something that is kind of newly coming into your story right now. And I do think that it has to do with maybe it's somebody that you've had a romantic relationship with, or possibly somebody that's like a family member, an old friend, something like this. There is kind of a rip in this heart, okay? But also, interestingly, when we kind of turn this, it looks like a bowl. And I wonder if this is not somebody who is maybe a Taurus or kind of has some of the attributes of the bull as like a totem animal or a disposition. So kind of can be aggressive, wants to kind of be the leader, kind of hot. I'm not going to say narcissistic, but possibly really kind of self-centered, really wants to just everything to be about their issues, their needs, you know, just kind of unable to experience the world from other perspectives aside from the ones that kind of serve them. And I know I'm being a little harsh, but the energy that I'm getting from this is that this is a person who can be difficult, definitely, very self-centered, and probably why they are not necessarily a part of your life actively anymore. And so I want to look at, I'm just kind of, I really love this image. So it really just, it really does just look like, and it's interesting because either way you look at it, it looks like this beast is either on their back with their legs up, or if you kind of look at it the other way, it looks like it's kind of with its head and its back and its tail, and it's kind of in this with its chest up. So really, it's an interesting kind of thing about perspective, is that, you know, in one perspective, the battle is being won by the angel, and the other one, it looks like that beast is not going to be conquered, right? So maybe it's kind of vacillating between the two. And maybe you are having trouble kind of controlling how you're feeling. But I think that this is going to be a really important, this is the biggest part of this reading, I think, this theme of trying to find a balance, to find a way to kind of disengage from these feelings, whatever the feelings are coming up, probably some anger, but to really be intentional about your reactions. Okay, at least the reactions that you are sharing with others. Okay, and I want to bring the card up here because I think it also really does set the tone. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize. I still have a bit of a cough that is coming here and there. I am struggling not to cough or get my throat getting kind of scratchy, and also with the allergies now, it's kind of my own battle going on. And also you can definitely hear the cats in the background here. They are on the loose again tonight. So if you hear food crunching or meowing or things falling, it is the cats, and I apologize. All right, so we have adjustment. This is from the Thoth deck. Really pretty. This is one of my favorite colorways in the deck, the blues and the greens together. We see that this is kind of the scales. It's very much in that Libra kind of energy, and holding the Ace of Swords. So really trying to balance out whatever it is, finding a fair balance so that we can maintain this creative flow, this ability to make use of that Ace of Swords, okay? And you can also see there is so much symmetry in this card. So it really is so much about not tipping over into one side or the other, remaining kind of neutral, not engaging, not allowing this person or this situation to deter you from the path that you have been on. Okay. And let's see. Let's look a little further here. We, excuse me, we have, it looks like, it really looks like there's quite a battle going on. We have a person, they look like they have their hands up, almost like in that old-timey kind of, where somebody's going to box or fight each other. And then we have another, it almost looks like a person with like a, I don't know, some kind of animal head. Okay, and it looks like they're really going at one another. And now I think that I'm really getting the impression that this person, this maybe Taurus or whatever they are, is a person from the past, okay? And you may have already moved on, like this is a distant memory to you, right? This person, you've had your, your breakup, you've gone through the grief process, you have moved on, you maybe have met somebody else, maybe you could even be married to somebody else, right? This could be ancient history. But I feel like something is going on with this person, and they are really just kind of drawn to your energy right now. I don't get the impression that you have stayed in contact really. I feel that it feels like they kind of, just some night they decided to like go on social media and find you, or, something like this, or start asking people, oh, how's so-and-so doing? Have you heard of whatever it is? And now they're kind of fixated on this idea of really kind of planting themselves into your life, but in this really kind of aggressive, like they're on the offense. They really want to just go at it for some reason, but it seems bizarre, right? Because they haven't been in your life for so long. I see that for you, we have this beautiful flower, and we have this this bird kind of drawn to this flower. I think that you probably, it really seems like you could even have like a family, children, or, just have literally moved on to like a completely new chapter. You are not even thinking about this. This is like, not even somebody that comes up ever in your mind too much. For some reason, they've really clinged to the idea of you, the idea of your relationship. I feel like there was maybe a decent amount of love between you, okay? But it seems like it maybe was a younger love. I think that often those first attempts at having romantic relationships with people, or high school high school boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever it is, there's kind of oftentimes such an intensity to it because you are allowed the time and space to, you don't have all these other responsibilities basically going on in life. You're going to school usually, you might have a little job or whatever, family stuff, but you have a lot more bandwidth to indulge in the feelings that you have when you're young, right? It seems like they're really intense. A lot of times they're new. So, you know, you're creating new experiences all the time, and it feels very deep and very potent. And I think that's why there's this really well-formed heart here. Okay, so I think this is a younger love. But I don't necessarily think that I don't feel like it was as important to you, at least not in this part of your life. Maybe during it happening, when it was like a current thing, it seemed really, you know, important. You really maybe were very in love. But now, as an older person with all these, you know, things that have gone on over the years, it really isn't anything more than kind of, you know, a young dalliance, a young love, you know, that first kind of love maybe. Okay, but for them, it seems like a big deal, right? And I think partly, honestly, just the way that I'm looking at, and let's see, I want to kind of look at this a little bit, see if we can see anything as it's turned over. Now, I just feel fairly certain that, and I'm looking at this, I feel like they had, and I'm seeing kind of a little flower here, but then it kind of almost looks like a landslide, like just, and I'm looking at it from all directions, and it kind of just really seems like, the thing that comes to mind is like something like a slippery slope, right? I feel like something has happened in their life where they're feeling very out of control of their situation. I feel that it seems like they just are in a really bad place. I feel like they've had some kind of loss, but I don't necessarily think it's a death. It maybe is a financial problem, maybe a divorce or something. But I think it has set them in this nostalgic place, but it's strange because they're in a bad place. They also seem like very resentful. They feel, it seems like maybe like some kind of jealousy, but it's not a warranted jealousy by any means. But also just vindictive. There's this feeling of kind of like, I've been hurt, so I'm going to hurt somebody else. Why you have become the center of this, I don't know exactly. But I also wonder if you're not the only person. I wonder if this is like a situation where they're kind of just like raging about people in their lives that were close with them, or, you know, they perceive to be close, and they're seeing your life go well, or at least from what they see of your life, right? Whatever's curated for them to see online, that, and let's face it, we do mostly all put out the better things about our personal lives. So I feel like there's just, it feels like a lot of kind of anger, but loneliness, just unhappiness. It feel like a feeling of being adrift, but like trying to find power in this anger, if that makes sense. Okay. I see this arrow. Okay. So I think that in this situation, the arrow would be that they are, they're saying, doing something to try to kind of wound you in some way, but so that they can get your attention, right? So that you will engage them. And it's kind of like, you know, they want any kind of attention, and they'll take negative attention. They maybe even just want negative attention from people, because then it reinforces how they feel about themselves and the world right now, because they are in this like kind of icky place. Okay. So, and this one, we see here, we have, let's see. So we have a figure of the leg and it's crossed over, and then there's the body and the head. So we have the Hanged Man. Okay. And I know nobody really ever wants to see the Hanged Man, but I think I personally, and I've said this anytime it comes up in any of my readings, I'm a big fan of the Hanged Man, because it means that we get to sacrifice something for the better good. And anytime that I get into that position in my life, and I know that there's a clear reason to do it that's not super ambiguous, it's easier for me to kind of let go of something that maybe is, you know, cluttering up my life in some way, my psychic space, my emotional space. Well, in this situation, I think for you, you are going to have to sacrifice that instinct, that pridefulness, even just that, you know, that survival mechanism to protect yourself, react. Now, I don't mean, you should be safe, okay? But to lash back out at somebody, to fight back, I don't think it's going to be helpful here, okay? Now, if they're showing up at your house, or, you know, like legitimately stalking you or your family or whatever, I think that obviously it's important to file a report, document things, be very proactive, okay? But do not engage somebody like this directly, okay? Don't get in an argument. Don't text them. Don't call them. Don't threaten them. You know, none of these kinds of things. I think in this case, it's probably not escalated to that, but I think that it's more like they're talking trash. They're kind of lingering around your social medias. You maybe live in an area where you grew up or went to high school, or, you know, whatever, where people know each other, and they're just kind of running their mouth or whatever. I would just say, please take the higher road on it. You know, I think it will blow over. It's foolishness. And, you know, ultimately somebody in this situation hopefully will snap out of it, get their things together, and realize that, you know, this is not the way to be behaving, right? I mean, that's the that's the best case scenario. But they might also just realize it's not worth their time, especially if they're not getting any kind of reaction. I think that also, if you do have a partner, a spouse, somebody that you're dating, or any other family members or people close to your life, if they are engaging them or talking about them or trying to reach out to them, just letting them know that you don't want to get involved in this. You don't want them to get involved in this. Just kind of, you know, building that wall, that protective wall between you and this situation. It just, you know, unfortunately, it's hard to not want to go back, tit for tat with somebody like this. And it's hard to not get upset when somebody is talking about you or people you love, or kind of, you know, trying to smear your good name. But I think that in the reality of things is that we have to look at situations like this if we can muster it within ourselves, to look at it with like as much empathy as possible, because this person obviously is suffering in some way. It's not helpful to you. And I almost am like pretty superstitious that when we kind of get into a dance with somebody like this, it poisons our own well, I guess, or water, or, you know, psychic space. And so you don't want that kind of energy in your life, right? And so I think that really it just is going to be a matter of, you know, I just kind of dismissing any of this, staying distracted with probably the million other things you have going on in your life. And I do honestly believe that if you can stay balanced and stay unengaged, like the justice card is telling us, that you will have more fortune in being able to preserve your energies like that. And whatever you are working on or cultivating in your work, in your creative life, or, you know, I don't know, maybe you're building your family up, you know, trying to have kids or grandkids or whatever it is. Those vital energies will be pouring into the things that they need to, instead of this other messy stuff. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So, I'm looking at this kind of as, it reminds me of a staircase. Okay. I know it's not exactly, staggered like a staircase, but, I do think that in the next either 6 days or 6 weeks, okay, we're going to have kind of a confirmation that you're not getting involved in this, okay, not spending these energies, that staying the course. You're going to have some kind of confirmation that your work is paying off. Okay, so, you know, maybe finishing a project, maybe having your project shown, or, you know, I don't know, maybe you make YouTube videos, maybe it's gonna go viral. I don't know, something, you know. There will be a clear sign that you have gone the right way, that you have made a good choice for yourself, okay? And so, yeah, I think that's pretty much where we're at tonight, Leo. And I'm interested to see what happens next week. All right. Okay. Here we go. Right back in place. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'm always so honored to do these readings for you. If you would be so kind to like the video, it helps me get into the algorithm, and that is super helpful for growing the channel and getting new viewers, and hopefully getting these messages to the people that they belong to. Other than that, if you have not subscribed, please think about doing so. You can also hit that little bell notification button, and it'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. I'm doing one reading for each sign once or every week. So every sign gets a reading every week. If you want to watch your other placements between now and 7 days when the next Leo comes out, you can go ahead and do that. Your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising. And I know a lot of people like to watch their Venus placement as well. And then what's the other thing? I always forget this one. It's the commenting. Some of the comments I get just literally like give me fuel to keep going. I really appreciate all of the love, the questions, the stories that people are telling me, sharing parts of your life. I am so honored to be able to interact with you all, and they are special connections. So I want to keep building that, and I want to, I've been getting to know some of you, and that has been so wonderful. So leave a comment if you want to. All right. Thank you, Leo. We will talk again very soon.